So at least let me thank you guys for helping me figure that part out. That was great. Because me and Tom had it working fine for 2, but that was just a 2-seater. This is a sedan now. It's 4 people. So.
Oh yeah.
We're actually gathering around the table now.
Well, that's the whole point.
Speaking to the microphone. Let's see if I can-
Yeah. I don't hear him at all.
Yeah, I don't hear him.
Is that the worst thing?
Yeah, really.
Probably would be in view of what you said we were doing.
Since we were interviewing him, yeah.
I regretted the decision when I found out he was the only graduating senior. I was like, do we really need to do this? And Jonathan brought all this nice equipment, so we followed through.
That snap.
I'll go back and edit out all the bad parts, or edit out all the good parts and leave the bad parts, and that's what makes the best video. You know that's true. No one wants to watch something go smoothly. They want the train wreck, you know.
True.
All right, so welcome into our next episode of Gather Round Table Talks, the podcast. We have a special edition today. As you can tell, we are not in a normal location. We are far from normal. We are at Indian Creek Youth Camp in Oakman, Alabama. We are coming to you not necessarily live because it's not live, it's recorded, but we are coming to you fresh from Ponderosa. And because we're in Ponderosa, Tom suggested we call this one, what?
Ponderosa pondering. But you just said something that I don't know that I've ever heard the 2 words in the same sentence.
What's that?
You said fresh and Ponderosa.
Fresh and Ponderosa. Well, you know, no campers are staying in here this year, so
That's because it's older than me.
Well, but as of right now, it's the best smelling cabin on the farm.
That is true.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. All right, so TC. Well, let's go around first. I'm Jonathan. Everybody knows me. Riding shotgun with me is Tom. Everyone remembers Tom Larkin from our first episode, and he'll be in and out throughout the series. We've got TC with us, TC Hayes. Where are you from, TC?
I'm from Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
Okay.
I've been coming here to Indian Creek Youth Camp since as long as I can remember, and just super glad to be part of this and hopefully start a little tradition.
Oh, yeah. We're hoping to spark some interest and get some kids excited. To kind of give you an idea before I introduce the fourth wheel, TC had the idea to get some of our seniors involved. Now, we split the camp up into juniors and seniors, but as far as the seniors go, there's true high school seniors that this is their final year to be a camper. Next year, they'll may qualify to be a counselor, but the camper days are in the rearview mirror. And for some reason, we have a ton of kids that are in the year under and the year over, but we only have one senior this year. I don't know how that works because we have so many people here, and somehow, by some strange twist of fate, draw of luck, we have Micah Cobb, who's the only senior.
It's called God.
What's your name, Micah Cobb?
My name is Micah Cobb. It's called God's. It's called God's love me.
Is this divine
God loves
intervention?
me.
God
I have no
loves you.
clue.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So, Micah, tell us real quick where you're from.
I am from Summerville, Alabama.
Yeah.
I've been coming to Indian Creek for 18 years.
You graduating from where? Or graduated from where?
Burr.
A fellow Burr. All right. And you will be. Are you starting college in?
No, I'm actually going to work.
Going to work. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Well, good deal. Well, because you're a senior, you're subjected to different tortures than the rest of the campers because now you're fair game. And TC said, let's interrogate him. So here we are, TC. Fair game. Go for it, man. So
Absolutely. All right. Well, Micah, I can't believe you were the only one that we pulled into this, but, as fate would have it.
It's because I'm your favorite, so I should also be your first one.
Keep thinking that. All right.
Dream on, baby.
First thing I want to know from you is, this is a loaded question, but what does camp here at Indian Creek Youth Camp mean to you? I know you've been here for 18 years. I've seen you since you were tiny. But what does this place mean to you?
Dude, camp is just different. Like, it don't matter where you come from, what you come from, who you are outside of camp. Camp is a different breed. It forges relationships that you never expect. It causes you to talk to people that you thought you would never talk to in your life. I mean, I remember growing up, and there were these kids that were huge. Probably because I was tiny and I was like 4 years old. Hey, I was big for a 4-year-old. Or I'll say myself. Pop, you can attest to the accuracy of that. But like, there were these kids that they were huge, and I was always like, man, one day I'm gonna be bigger than all of them. I'm not bigger than most of them, but.
You're pretty big. I mean, you're pretty tall, but yeah, there's a lot of super tall.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Blake Wright is the one that I remember the most, and he is, 6'3", 250, 260. Dude is a
big feller.
Beast.
Yeah.
But so I'm definitely not bigger than him. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but when you're 4, everything's big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me get back to the question.
I'm trying to keep you back.
I gotta rein it back in. Rein it back in.
Get it back.
I mean, it just, for me, it means hope. I mean, throughout my life, I've been through a lot of ups and downs. A lot of stuff that you never expect to go through your life. But I mean, it just, every single year, no matter what's going on, no matter what's happening, camp always gives me that hope that there's always a place for me on the other side of this life. It is something that I'll always hold dear to my heart, because for so long, and I mean, it's not just for me, but for so many other people, camp just gave them a place to get away. It gave them a place to go, to truly just take a break from life, to be somewhere with people who they love to be around and who love to be around them. And so for me, I guess camp always meant hope.
Man, that's a really good answer.
I mean, it's like an anchor point.
Because the world
just moves so fast. Yeah.
I talked until I could figure that all out in my head.
Yeah, so. Well, I mean, that's how it works. Sometimes you just got to lay it out, and once you say it, you figure it out. But it's like an anchor point, because the world can be so turbulent and move so fast. And I know some of the stuff that you've been through is just a whirlwind, and your head spins. But you've got this 1 week where you get together with all of these people of like precious faith that you don't have to worry about, are they going to turn on you, or are they going to mess with you? Well, outside of the the fun that we have messing with each other, but it's a high level of trust. You can kind of let your defenses down and breathe for 1 week out of the year at least. Yeah.
And oh my gosh, these last few weeks, or these last few years,
it feels like it's been a few weeks just this week.
But no, I mean, having TC as my counselor, I never saw this side of TC growing up. He was always the one.
I'm kind of nervous about this.
Yeah, what's he going to say next?
He was always the one goofing off, giving the counselors a hard time. But dude,
now he's a responsible adult. Is that what you're saying?
responsible adult is a great way to put it for
Y'all heard that, right? This is on the record.
This is recorded,
it's on
by
the
the way.
record.
for
Yes.
the
All right, cool.
listeners.
This is the kind of stuff I'm
For
going to
the
have to go back and
listeners.
edit out.
Oh, man. I need a copy, at least, for my wife and dad. Other than that, I'm good.
But no, I mean, TC has just taken over the oldest group of these senior boys, and I mean, these past few years, I mean, like, I don't have camp without TC. I mean, I really don't, because TC, he's not going to beat around the bush. He's going to tell you what's up. He's going to tell you, look, you're a kid, and I made the same dumb decisions that you have probably made. And if I didn't make him, then one of these other counselors probably did make him.
Mm-hmm.
You think you're so good at hiding it, but I mean, TC, he sees it.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those counselors that no matter what, he knows when you're having a hard time at camp. He knows when something's up, and I can't look at him and say this because
You don't have to look at him.
I gotta imagine he's not here.
You can go
But-
you can go back and watch the video later and see him grinning at you with stars in his eyes.
This is again a Hall of Fame clip for me right here.
Yeah, oh yeah. I can
mean-
see you're not looking at him, but I see that ego just going a little bit bigger each time. No,
Hey.
But
Let him continue. Let him continue.
but it's earned. It's earned. It's earned from what I've seen. It's
It
earned.
is very hard.
So-
earned. I mean, I can't tell you how many nights TC has sat up till 1, 2, 3 a.m. just talking with one of the guys from this oldest senior boys group when he definitely should be sleeping because he is now an old man.
All right.
Wait,
That one comes
I
out.
don't know. Yeah,
That one comes out.
That's the part we purged. Yeah.
Oh no, it's funny because of what's been said in the cabin the past few nights. So, but anyways, we've taken a shot at TC both nights
I'm sure.
so far. But
I'm sure.
Anyways, I mean, TC just he gave me someone to talk to. Other than, I mean, I love Pop. He's my grandpa. He's always there for me. I know, but I mean, there's some talks that I didn't want to have with him because he is my grandfather, and TC was one of those guys where it was like, hey, I'm here to listen to you. I'm here to hear what you have to say. And he does that. He truly listens to what we have to say. And I can't tell you how much it has helped me. Just him sitting down and listening.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
him sitting down and being there. So
Yeah. It's therapeutic.
it is.
Yeah.
It really is. It's
Oh, yeah.
almost like going to therapy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and I understand what you're saying, and it's no dig at Pop or anything like that. But I get that, and he gets that too.
Sure.
And that's the importance of having a week and having a group of people like this. There's a lot of people here that he does trust for you to have those conversations with. TC's one of them, and that's what makes this week so special because you have complete 24/7 access to each other.
TC hates that.
Yeah, I know. Well, he can't say that though right now, but
Usually I have to call him and he's like, I'm busy. Let me call you back.
yeah.
Nah. TC picks up. He's great about it. He loves talking to us as much as he regrets.
Says otherwise?
It's not that he says that. He regrets.
He's a good faker.
He regrets losing sleep, but I mean, he's great about it. He's a good sport about losing speed. About
losing
losing
sleep is what you meant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, on that topic, I want to talk about your future here with this camp. You've told us what camp means to you. You've told us, the safe place it is, your anchor. And, it's kind of that way spiritually, but mentally, both spiritually and not spiritually. So, growing up, I had the same experience with my counselors. I was able to talk to them about life decisions that didn't necessarily reflect spiritual things. But I was able to bounce ideas off of them, and, they were giving me advice because, like you said, I didn't want to have that with my dad or granddad. For you, you're graduating. You're going out into the world. You're going into the workforce. You said you've been here for how many years now? 18 years?
Mm-hmm.
I better see you here next year. All right? I know it's tough. Your first couple of years of a counselor, I better see you here. I better see you enjoying it, because your first couple of years as a counselor, you don't have to do too much responsibility. But I promise, your turn is coming. All right,
nice.
Your turn to lose sleep and be someone's rock is coming.
Please don't
Uh,
remind me of that.
Oh, trust me. If someone told me that, and I would have been like, "Yeah, you're crazy. That's not going to be me."
I just want the glory years
But
for the next few years. yeah, I'm a counselor, so I can run do this. But I mean, there's senior counselors. I'm a junior counselor.
I understand, but you enjoy it.
Yeah.
But be thinking ahead. Repaying it. I am doing my best to repay all the sleepless nights that I gave Kyle Hayes and Alex and all of these, and Scott even. Oh, I messed with Scott way too much. But all of those nights that I made them worry if I was going to make it next year, because who knew what was coming out of my mouth next. I'm repaying that to them because of all the work they put into me. I'm hoping that I can trust you're going to do the same thing in the next generation. So for the next generation of campers, the kids right now that are 11 and 12 years old, is about the year that you're going to be the young counselor in their cabin who's supposed to be fun but also leading them. What do you have to say to them to get them excited about the relationships they're going to build with their counselors and with you? What encouragement do you have to them to keep them coming back to camp?
Let's see, 11 and 12 years old. That's Twin Oaks, right?
Well, we have 12 and 13 this year, but yeah, that's
okay. So
roughly
that's
age group.
about that
Yeah.
idea, though. Yeah.
Keep in mind, you smell their cabin and you see what they do on a day-to-day basis. That's the group you're going to bond with. That's the group that's going to look up to you and ask you for life advice.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's real, isn't it? You hadn't thought about that up until now, have you?
Oh,
I don't
man.
like you for
Yeah.
this one. I mean,
Don't have meaning crazy, man. It just, I know I don't remember when I was that age, but just a few words to say, hey, I expect to see you here. This place will lead you in the right direction. What?
I mean, it does.
A few things like that.
Looking at Cypress this year, we're extremely light on the guys that are in there.
Mhm.
And part of that is because, I mean, the guys who we used to think, man, they're always going to come back. They didn't come back. And that hurts the people who are here. It's hard to see that there are empty bunks. I mean, we have an entire cabin that we're not using because people didn't make camp a priority in their life. They thought, it's just camp. I mean, I can just make it up next year. Nothing too crazy is going to happen. No, camp will take you places in your life that you never expect to go. I mean, 11 and 12 years old. I'm going to sound old for this, but
Please sound old.
You haven't gotten that far into your life. I mean, this past 2 years, I mean, going from 16 to 18, so much has changed. I mean, starting to drive, that was huge for me at the time. Now I hate driving. I do. I really just like.
What's wrong with him?
Driving is.
I know.
It's like he's getting old, isn't he?
Oh,
Very
man.
old. Yes.
I drank 2 cups of coffee this morning, and I hate coffee.
Next thing you know, his knees are going to start hurting.
Yeah.
My knees do hurt.
You hear
my
that
knees
pop?
hurt. Yes.
That was you. That was your joints.
Oh, this pop, not that.
No,
pop.
not this pop. Your pop. Well, he pops too when he moves. But
Definitely.
No, I mean, camp's just always gonna give you something new. It'll give you a friendship. I mean, my 2 best friends at camp right now, if I had to say, would be Bennett Sharp and
how old is Bennett? He's like what, 10? Is he even 10?
I don't
He's
know,
like,
but dude came up
he's
and
like
gave me a hug.
8. Yeah,
Dude came
8.
up and gave me a hug, and I was like, Bennett, you're the man.
Yeah, see, that's
But-
exactly what you're going to be catering to.
Exactly. But,
See, he already has
but
that hook
Bennett-
in
Bennett
you,
and Colt,
in your
like,
heartstrings.
Bennett and Colt are my 2 favorite
Colt,
campers right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
I love Colt.
Colt's the
What a
bomb.
goober. He's just like his brother. He came up and he saw them honey buns, and I saw that sparkle just like Drew. And he
Yeah,
was like,
oh yeah. Another little
Take
old
that.
man. Another little old man.
Drew is such an old man. But I mean, like, in my cabin, I mean, we sit and we have this time every night where we just sit and be with the other campers in the cabin.
Mhm.
And we goof off, we play around, we make jokes that will never leave the cabin. And we just sit there and bond. And it's always, Pop, why do you keep writing stuff down?
So I won't forget this because remember, I am older.
Okay.
He was joking about those jokes being made in the cabin.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen on my watch.
No, you asked the question, so
He's
I've
getting
written
ready
down
to,
3 words.
He's getting ready to write down some of the jokes.
Micah single-handedly just got me kicked out of camp forever.
Exactly. This recording will never see the light of day.
No, I've written down 3 words as we're talking. One of them is constant, which you were talking about earlier, and you used the term anchor point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a constancy to camp. I mean, you felt it, I'm sure. You get here, you see somebody you have not seen since camp last year, and within minutes, it's like you've been with them for days and days and days. I wrote down the word genuine because that's really what you're talking about: sitting in the cabin, bonding with people, joking with people. I mean, this is who you really are. But I think the word that I just wrote, as y'all were noticing that I'm writing things, relationships. I mean, you know, I've got a lot more years perspective on this. I mean, the first time I was ever around TC, he was 4 years old, and they held a gospel meeting up in East Maine, and your dad took us out to the driving range because he wanted me to see you hit a golf ball. And you could hit a golf ball better than I could when you were 4 years old, you know. But, you know, I've got that generation, and I've got the generation above that. I mentioned last night that the first time I ever saw Dale Hubbard was here at camp. That's where we met. And, you know, we've been good friends, and we've been involved in all sorts of different things down through the years. Hallie, Katie, were 2 years old when they met down here. They've been lifelong friends. But that's what camp does. It gives you friendships. And Micah and I had this conversation right around the time school ended, that, you know, you're at a point now that people that you've spent every day with, a lot of them you'll never see again. That's the way high school is. You're going to get into a different realm of people, but camp, those people stay. And 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, those people are still important in your life. And I think that just speaks to what camp is all about.
I
So
think
I may write some more words down so you
Don't be distracted.
It was very concerning because I was like, am I going to get in trouble
Oh,
for
yeah.
this later?
why do you think we're doing this?
Why do you have
It's
such a
you on
guilty
recording.
conscience?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
From my perspective, I'm the last one of my group that's still attending camp actively. And you mentioned that earlier, man. It hurts to not see my brothers that I would consider them not here with me every week.
Hey, I'm putting this on a t-shirt. Brothers in Christ, brothers in life. I want you to buy one because you
All
need
right.
it. You need it. Brothers in
That was
Christ,
a
brothers in
forced
life.
sale.
Yes, it is.
$19.99 on the
I'm
website.
making this because of you. You have to purchase it.
Yeah,
But-
you gotta have one.
You know, it's incredible to me that even though they may not be coming to camp, I still think the world of them. And, you know, when I look back at my years as a camper, I do remember sitting in there listening to the lessons, taking notes. I really can't remember most of what was said. But I remember glimpses of sitting here in these cabins and, you know, teenage boys being stupid,
Yeah.
making memories with those friends. And when you come back as a counselor, it's going to be the tough decision on you to decide when you want to let them be boys and be stupid, and when you have to shut it off. And I'll say last night and the night before, as I was laying down going to sleep, listening to the conversations of how many of y'all are in there. It's 5 campers and like 3 or 4 like first-time counselors. Listening to them talk, it sounds like a bad TV. It's like it's mind-numbingly dumb what they say. But it's hilarious, and you can tell.
Well, at least it's
how much
intelligible. In Twin Oaks, it's just, hey, we just filled you got. By the way, thank you for giving them the snow cones and sending them off the bed. Thank you, Pop and Lolly. Dale's the one that suggested one of those flavors be Dimetap, but or Benadryl or whatever.
NyQuil.
NyQuil. That's it. Yeah. But yeah, at least it's intelligible. You know what you've been in there with me. You know what kind of stuff goes on, and that one.
It's okay. You're just so good with Twin Oaks.
No, I have made someone mad, and it has stuck. is all I can figure. But at least talk about that for a second, okay? Because from a sample of what we've got in Twin Oaks as far as 12, 13, sometimes 14-year-olds. And what's the age range? It's
16
18 down.
16 to 18.
16 to 18 plus your first-time counselors who are college students. The difference between the banter and the 12 and 13-year-olds versus the 16 to 18-year-olds, is it the same? Because you said it was just stupid conversation. Is it the same level, or is it?
There, you would not be able to tell the difference if you could change their voices to make them sound the same. Yeah,
well, no. It'd be same conversation, but just a little bit deeper register.
I'm going to tell you this in confidence. At about 2:30 in the morning, they were still going.
It's our cabin too. Our cabin too.
And I sit there and I listen, and it makes me just giggle and smile because I know they're making memories, and they won't ever remember sitting there, and they'll never own up to those conversations. Never.
No.
But they're so invested in their friends and having fun. It makes them want to come back the next year because we got to sit there and goof off till 2:30 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Mom doesn't let me do that at home.
I'm trying to prepare Micah over here to be sitting there at 2 o'clock in the morning, not being able to sleep, listening to a bunch of kids, and enjoy it because you're instilling in these kids something that they'll never forget. A sense of home.
I was asleep with them doing that right beside me.
Well, you're going to have to learn to stay awake a little bit for them.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. That's where, you said 2 cups of coffee. That's lightweight numbers. You're going to have to crank that up.
I do need more.
Yeah.
I saw Lolly earlier, and I was like, Lolly, do you have any coffee?
That's all you had to say. You had 2 pots ready, didn't you? Yeah,
I didn't go get any.
Well, I'll tell you what. Those are the 2 big questions I really wanted to ask you. Giving some words of advice to the younger ones, as well as getting your perspective on what camp is, so that once we get a few more of these in over the years, we can mash up something of what Indian Creek is. So I do want to ask if Tom or Jonathan over here have anything they want to ask, just to get on record from Micah. I mean, it doesn't. Just pick at him. Have fun with it. I want to make this a tradition that, like we said, the 2 a.m. conversations, I want to make this something special for the graduating seniors that they look forward to doing and being a part of. Yeah. You just got lucky. You're number 1.
Yeah, the guinea pig.
Pretty much.
Okay. I'm Dad's favorite.
One of the things I thought about when you were asking him about, or, talking about when he comes back to be a counselor, hey, get ready, you're going to be talking to kids that remember the kind of things that you said. But I wonder if I can dive far enough back in my messages to find some of those things to prepare you, some of the things that you sent me when you were that young, to kind of refresh your memory on exactly what, from your young mind. Yeah. I don't know if I even have those anymore. If I
these walls are very white.
But all right. The thing, and God bless these children. Some of them. No, I mean this is going to be a serious note. Some of them that come in to us, you're just not ever going to be prepared for what you're about to hear. You're going to hear some stories about some rough home life. You're going to hear some stories about some real tragedies and some real heartaches and some real loss and some real bad things that have happened to these kids. Now, what you do is you take the experiences in those categories that you've had, and the way you pay that back is you use, hey, when I was going through this worked, this did not, this worked, and this did not, and that's where you kind of pull your advice from. Not so much in this category, but me and Anna, some of the stuff that we've been through, starting a family, that prepared us. We didn't know it at the time. We just thought, we're just, going to be tortured here. This is just how life is going to be. But no, it prepared us to help counsel other young couples that may have gone through the loss of a young child and stuff like that. You never know while you're going through stuff why sometimes, but when you get through on the other side, you realize, oh, this tragedy that I went through, this heartache, this suffering that I felt at the time, I'm able to turn this around and use this as a salve, as an ointment to help these other kids get through this, to help them figure out how to bridge the gap from I have been hurt beyond belief to I'm going to be okay. You got to get them from there to there, and then having your experiences be part of that bridge is it's very rewarding to see what good can come from that.
You're really good at this. You should do a podcast.
I should.
We use the word counselor, and I think a lot of times when we use that word, we don't think about what we're really saying, because we think counselor, well, that's the adult in the cabin.
Yeah,
but the word is there for a reason. Counsel. We are giving counsel. We're giving advice. We're helping these kids find their footing and find that anchor point. Find something that's worth making a part of their life. And so, you're in a position that I was never in. Micah, you said this was your 18th year to come to camp. How old are you?
18.
18. So, literally,
the first few years were not by choice at all.
No,
literally
not at
all
all
of your life. I did not go to camp until I was between my sophomore and junior year of high school. And, I went a couple of years during my high school years, and then when we started coming here. And so I missed the camp as a child. And so, my first few years as a counselor, I was probably more like a child than I was a counselor. Because I was catching
absolutely.
up. But what you're doing, and I think you said it well, Jonathan, you're using what you've been through, what you've seen, to help them. I'm looking, especially these last 2 years, I'm looking over 2 or 3 generations of campers. And it's such a wonderful thing to see, because we have our kids' age, and now their kids' age, and now we're beginning to see even beyond that, that constant that camp is. It's just 1 or 2 weeks a year, but it seems bigger than that, and really it is bigger than that. We're only here for that length of time, but it affects every part of our life. And the dead of winter, camp is that thing that, oh good, I'm going to get to go there in a few months.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't speak for anybody else, but without camp, I think I would be a Christian today with camp. I don't doubt that. I've been blessed with a wonderful family that have made sure I stayed the course. But I don't know if I'd be as strong of a Christian and someone who's prepared to be a leader half as much. I mentioned earlier some of the guys that I looked up to that spent a lot of nights wondering if I was going to do something stupid. It has more than prepared me to have some of these conversations. And, I didn't think I was prepared. Still don't think I'm prepared half the time, because when someone calls and asks you a question, you have to sit there and think, what in the world am I supposed to say to this? Yeah. But camp is, again, I think it goes back to that anchor. It's something in life that I can point to, and they ask, why are you such a strong Christian outside of, if you're not trying to give me book, chapter, and verse of why are you a Christian, I'm a strong, faithful Christian because of camp. And there's not too many things in life that you can be grateful for like that.
I think that's well said. I think there are a lot of people who don't understand what camp is. They've never been here. They've never been part of it. Mm-hmm. They think, you're just going down there to have fun, go down there. It's like a vacation.
Yeah.
I don't
know how many times I got that last week. Enjoy your vacation. I'm like,
I wouldn't trade this for a vacation anyway.
We'll come back to rest.
But, it's obviously work, but it's worthwhile work because, like you said, I agree with you 100%. I would be a Christian, but I'm a stronger Christian, I think, because of camp. And it's hard to put your finger on what it is about it. But I think the things we've talked about is what it is, the relationships that we're building and all of those things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I could not be any happier that however East Main ended up down here at Indian Creek Youth Camp. I have no idea about the backstory of it, but it has created friendships and brotherhoods that are going to last my entire life. And I'm so thankful. Now, Micah, it's going to happen to you too, bud. I promise. It's sometimes you go throughout the year, and we said it's just 1 week of the year. You have rough times in life, and you're thinking, man, you make stupid decisions because we all do. And somehow or another, someone from camp will be there, because every time I went through something rough, and kind of funny how it worked out, someone or something was there to remind me about, hey, I've got all these people at camp that want me to be better. I don't know how it works out that way. I really think there's a little bit of a providential action going on when it comes to that. Say what you will about it. But I've seen a lot of people who are those lukewarm Christians. We come in here, we see a lot of these kids who are here because they're dropped off, and it is an incredible feeling to see anyone, either young or counselor, who is lukewarm, gain that fire. Hopefully we can help kindle that fire so that next year they're able to do the same thing for someone else. There's nowhere else in the world where you can just be so comfortable to do so.
Yeah, and you're comfortable because you know what you're getting into. You know exactly what to expect. Well, for the most part, you expect. But it's just a foundation that is just going to be there. It's a comforting thing to know that you're going to have this landing pad this time next year to recharge and do this all over again, and then get back out there with that recharge and hopefully do the greater good with it. And then just about that time your battery's about to run down, coming back in for a fill up, So, but that's from me speaking. I just started coming to camp at 30.
You said that
at 35.
Well. At 65, I have the 65? Same feelings. Yeah. Of course, we come AP week as well, first part of June, and we get here, and I'm like, I don't know if I could have made it much longer without having become.
Right.
It gives you that recharge. It gives you that refocus, and you realize, I don't know what it is about this place, I don't know what it is of what we're doing, but it makes you realize how blessed you are to be a Christian.
Yes. Because you have access to that great support group that you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah. I've said a number of times, I've heard others say it as well, that this is closer to what the church is supposed to be than a lot of what we're doing in our church buildings. I may get some feedback on that.
Well, they'll email me. Don't worry, I'm connected to the account. I'll forward them to you.
The fact that we're together so much here, whereas at the church building you're there an hour, 2, 3 a week, it deepens those relationships, which I think is the very heart of what it is to be a part of a Christian community.
Well, don't take my word for it, but I believe it's a lot to do with proximity. The church in the first century, they weren't driving. I drive 30 minutes to church every day. They didn't have cars. They couldn't drive 30 minutes to church. So that means they all live just about as close as the boys and girls who are here at camp. They were in that proximity with each other. They were around each other all the time, spent every day of their lives seeing each other, which is why the church was so much more effective about building relationships in the first century. As time has moved on, we have moved our proximity to a wider range. We're not all right there in one city. We're not all right there close together. And for TC's case, not all in one state, even.
Yeah.
Y'all just need to move up to Tennessee. That's all it is.
Hey, who said that they could buy a mansion with what their cost of living is?
Oh, that's very
Right now.
true.
Yeah.
Cost of
But, I
living's not good.
We're so close to each other here at camp. I mean, we literally live like 3 feet away.
Yeah,
From
bunks for scale.
Yeah, bunks for scale. This is how far away we are from each other, and that's every night of the week for 4 nights, 5 nights.
Yeah, depending on when you get here. Yeah,
True.
yeah.
And
I mean,
it makes you have to make those connections.
well, one of the things, and I don't know how long you've been working enough to pick up on this. You guys who've been working a great deal longer. When you work with people, you form more significant bonds sometimes. Sometimes you're just going to work with people you just don't get along with, and that's fine, whatever. But in that group of people that you work with, you're going to learn each other's habits. You're going to learn each other's mannerisms. You're going to learn each other, what they're going to say next. You'll get to a point where if you work with someone long enough, you know the next word that they're going to say. When we do at Union, when we do our service projects and stuff like that, especially one of the things, I mean, we've been pretty good about doing stuff like coat drives and all that, and we do a lot of work together. But now that we have this consistent project with the homeless meals, you see how many people show up who are rip-roaring and ready to go to prepare those, and they stay. Sometimes by the time the delivery team gets back, they're still there and they're talking, drinking coffee, and they're still, solving the world's problems. And, the more you work with someone, the more those bonds strengthen and tighten seem to be with certain people, Now, out in the world, it's going to be hit or miss as far as compatibility. But here you've got a whole property of hundreds of folks that it's almost a given that you're going to be compatible with. And now we're working, and now we're all in the kitchen together, and now we're all at the ball field running from all these little kids. Oh man, I hope I don't trip over one, and all this. And
that is a real
brotherhood
fear.
being born in adversity. That's exactly what that is. And so I think there's something to be said. Now, as far as the proximity in which we live with each other, yeah, sure, absolutely. But I think one of the main components and supplement to that is when we work with each other, we learn each other. And when you learn each other, that bond is just, it's pretty special.
Well, I mean, that was present too. I mean,
yeah.
A first century city, I mean, they supported each other.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were a butcher, then you provided meat not just for yourself but for the entire town. And so if you weren't a butcher, you had to know who was. You had to know what they did, who they were, where they live. You had to know how to get to them. And I mean, they had to work together to support each other so everyone could survive. But
absolutely.
Speaking of running over a kid, I was out at the craft. I didn't actually run over a kid, but I was out at the craft hut right before I came to this, and I was playing with Jeffrey, and he disappeared, and I didn't hear him, couldn't see him. He was behind a tree, but he disappeared. I'm looking around. I'm like, oh Lord, did I kick him under the craft hut on accident? Because I mean, he's so
did you run over him?
He's so small. No, he was behind a
Oh,
tree.
good.
He was standing behind a tree looking at a knot on a tree, and I was like,
look, don't run over Jeffrey. His dad's a lawyer. Okay, I'm just saying, if you're going to pick one, don't pick Jeffrey. Because not only is his dad a lawyer, you ever seen Jeffrey mad? That little language of his and that finger gets to going.
It just like it cuts your soul.
Yeah. You will get it.
Oh yeah, you will definitely get it.
How you doing on time over there?
We're well past it, but it's
figured.
fine. Do you have anything else you'd like to add, Pop?
No, I think I've said it.
So, okay, all right. Well, little bird, time to fly.
No.
Yeah, no.
We'll see you next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next year is time to fly.
Next year is time to fly.
I still got my camper privileges this year.
Oh yeah, yeah. You still have one more whole day left. So
Well, it doesn't really feel like it. I'll be honest. TC's been like mellowed out by his past few years in the senior.
Don't listen to that.
senior
I'm very
boys.
strict. Follow the rules.
Like-
Nothing gets by me.
I mean, Chad's still like TC's the chillin'. Chad still gets on us. Chad makes sure we're
TC's
doing
the
what we
chill.
need. But like,
So y'all are doing the good cop, bad cop.
oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I
Sounds
truly
like it.
believe
Oh
it's
yeah,
great.
absolutely
Right.
sounds like it.
you know, so. I think they need to stay paired up for a long time.
Oh man.
So.
All right.
Or at
well,
least until I can replace Chad and TC can become the bad cop. TC can become the bad cop. I'll be the good cop.
you say so.
Would you just love to run a cabin with me?
Can I plead the fifth?
yeah. Well,
Is that legal in this?
what's one more camper?
Honestly?
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Well, guys, thanks for joining us here. Looking forward to next year. Looking forward to your future because you've got a lot of potential that we've talked about this week too. You got a lot of that. So keep that rudder right. Keep your nose clean and keep on doing and being a good guy like you are. You know what I mean. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Tune in next time. Who knows what we'll get into, but we might not be at camp. So thanks for watching.